Okay, Algebra 2, this is day 2 notes. Day 2 is all about linear equations, all right? A lot of review from Algebra 1, maybe even before then. First thing, some terms, linear equations, I already filled this one in for you. They form a straight line when graphed, right? Quick way to tell if you're looking at an equation, there's no x squared term. Remember, x squareds are quadratics or parabolas. This is just a line for today. So no x squared term. Slope formula, you might have forgot that. Maybe, maybe not. The different ways to write the slope formula. Some of you have seen is changing y over changing x. All right, another way to do it is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Going way back to middle school, you knew slope was rise over run. All right. If you have a graph, I would definitely use rise over run to find a slope. If you have points, use the formula. All right, some of you, if you're, I don't know, it's been a while. If I say what's the slope formula, you might have thought of y equals mx plus b, all right? Y equals mx plus b is not the slope formula. That's the equation of a line, all right? M is the slope. M is slope, right? It's the letter we use for slope. But mx plus b is slope-intercept form of a line, all right? That is not the equation we're looking for this one, all right? So some questions, easy ones. Find the slope of this line, all right? They give you the graph. Those are 2 points on the line right there. So you got the point 0, 0, negative 2, 1. All right. You could find the slope of the formula if you wanted to. It's a lot of work. Just count rise over run though. Up 1 over 2. So you know your slope is rise over run, 1/2. Another thing you want to make sure, don't forget, just by looking at it, if you go left to right, you're going downhill. Downhill is a negative slope, so negative 1/2 is your slope. A few other quick questions here. Describe a line with a slope of 0. If your slope is 0, you're thinking rise over run. The only way to get 0 is if you have 0 divided by some number, right? So your rise was 0, your run could be any number. That's a horizontal line. All right. If the slope is undefined, that's the vertical line. I don't think that's on here. That's all right. Number 3, what's the slope of this line? Yeah, it's that easy right now. What is the slope? Again, we kind of mentioned this before. It's mx plus b. This is in y equals mx plus b form. So the slope is the negative 2. If you don't remember that, it's been a while. Algebra 1 stuff. Number 4, what is the slope of this line? 3x plus 2y equals 6. Again, you know it's a line. There's no x squared term. You need to find the slope, though. Don't just assume it's 3 because that's in front of the x. All right, this is not in slope-intercept form, so you can't tell just by looking at it. You need to move things around a little bit. All right, so I don't get this y by itself. I'm going to try to get this in y equals mx plus b form. So let's move the 3x to the other side. All right, I'm just moving it. It doesn't change anything. It's just in a different spot. I got 2y equals negative 3x plus 6. All right, I want my x term first because that's going to give me the mx plus b form in a minute. How do you get y by itself? Divide by 2. If you divide by 2 here, you got to divide everything by 2. The 6 also gets divided by 2. Simplify. All right, so negative 3/2 x plus 3 is my equation. Again, it's the same thing written differently. All right, different form is all. The slope is still in front of the x. All right, this is your mx plus b. Slope is negative 3/2. All right, it's all coming back to you, I'm sure. Next page. Again, this packet jumps around a little bit. We're talking about this today. It'll be something different tomorrow. Number 5, find the slope between these 2 points. Again, your formula, keep writing it down. It'll help you memorize it if you don't know it already. I'll let you guys find the slope of that one. See what you get. All right. And then it says write the equation of the line. That'll be the hard part. All right, so once you get the slope, use that slope to write an equation y equals mx plus b form. All right. Let you try that one. We'll talk about it more tomorrow, next day in class. Number 6, we're going to graph this thing. Y equals 3x minus 1. All right, if you have a calculator, I guess you could use calculator. Different ways to graph a line, though. You don't need a calculator. It's easy. You got slope and y-intercept. All right, it's been a while. It's that easy today, though. Slope is just by looking at the equation. It's already in mx plus b form. The slope is 3 or 3 over 1, if you want to put that. The y-intercept is negative 1. Don't forget the negative sign. And then that's enough to graph it. You need those 2 things. Start with the y-intercept, negative 1. From that point, go up 3 over 1. Use your slope. 1, 2, 3 over 1. Keep going that same pattern. If you want to make it longer, that's fine. Again, freehand, that's fine for now. Close enough. All right. You could also use a table off the calculator if you really wanted to. Don't forget to label. All right. Y equals 3x minus 1. All right. Always label your graphs. Good habit to get into, especially the next couple years in math class. The next thing, there's a couple of these on the next page, I believe, just at the bottom here. Rate of change. We mentioned that in class before. That is just slope. Anytime you see a rate of change question, it is a slope question. You'll be finding a slope some way, somehow. All right, some word problems, I think, on the next page. Short notes today. All right, this one. Some reading material at the top. You can read that if you're on your own. Basically, you're riding a roller coaster or something like that. Just this graph is height versus time. So your height's increasing as time goes on. Your height stays constant for a little bit, and then your height drops pretty fast, right? Back down to 0. So part A says, describe the child's rate of change. So again, as soon as you see those words, get used to it. You're going to start thinking, what is the slope going to be here? Between 0 to 8 seconds, 8 to 10 seconds, and 10 to 12.5 seconds. That's like 3 questions for slope all in one. All right, so from 0 to 8, it just says describe. It doesn't really say find it, so you could find the slope if you wanted to, but let's just describe it. So from 0 to 8 seconds, I'm going to say that's a constant rate, because it's going up a straight line. It's constant rate of change. All right, you can find the slope again. Don't need to right now. From 8 to 10 seconds, that's this flat part, right? From 8 to 10. What's going on 8 to 10 seconds? All right, well, his rate is 0. His height's not changing, so the rate is 0. Or the slope is 0. In the last interval, 10 to 12.5 seconds. All right, what is his rate doing? It's going, his height's going down. Is his rate going down? I'm going to try to make you think a little bit. It's like the hardest part of this question. If you were to draw like a line tangent to this curve, tangent line. I'm trying to get the calculus terms here. All right, your slope's about that steep, right? If you were to draw a tangent line down here further, your line looks like this. That's a tangent line. Kind of hard to see. It's kind of a word, a small picture. Which one is steeper, though? Not the same, right? This one down here is actually steeper down here than it is up here. All right, so your rate is increasing. Basically, it's dropping faster as time goes on, all right? Part B actually wants you to find what is his speed during his ascent. All right, so his ascent is when he's going up, in case you didn't know that word. So finish this off. It took 8 seconds to go from here to here. That's when he's going up. So 8 seconds is our time. That's our change in x. Just doing slope in my head here. What's his change in height? He went from 0 feet to 100 feet. So he changed 100 feet in 8 seconds. What is his speed? Remember, the slope is actually the speed. It's at 12.5. If you want to get fancy, this is meters per second. All right. Over here it changes, but his ascent is constant. Short notes for day 2. The homework kind of jumps all over the place as well. All right. Got some weird things in there. Pretty easy though. Give it a shot. All right.